Okay, this is a quick tutorial on the making of a viewfinder that is proportional to 9 by 12 or 18 by 24 inch paper. The math tells us that the smallest shape we can make with full inches to use as a viewfinder would be to use a convenient 3x5 card. And a 3x5 card is not equal to the proportions of 9 by 12 paper. So we're going to just measure up 1 inch from the bottom of a 3x5 card, and it will convert that 3x5 to a 3x4 inch card, which is proportional to 9 by 12 paper. Right here, I'm using a cutting board, but you can also measure with a ruler 1 inch up, and I always mark in 2 places when I'm drawing a straight line. And right now I'm going to mark there, and right here. 2 points determine a line. So I'm going to turn my ruler over just because this is a little ahead. I'm not looking directly down over the top. I want to make a nice straight line across there. Now I have, I'll cover up the bottom, a 3x4 card. And I know that a 3x4 card is proportional to 9 by 12 and 18 by 24 paper. Down at the bottom, I'm going to write my initials just so I know it's my card. There's no danger in finding that you're going to lose your card in the classroom, because we're not in the classroom, but this is just a habit of mine when I show students how to do this. And I'm going to mark it as proportional to 18 by 24 paper, 9 by 12 paper, and 3 by 4 inch paper. And now I'm ready to use a few tools that are in the kit to cut a viewing window into this space. A viewing window, I gave you a slide. This is for 35mm film. It makes a long rectangle, but the most common paper that we use in class is a 9 by 12 notebook or an 18 by 24 full sheet of paper. So I know what I'm going to be ending up with. And a 3x5 card is convenient to use because it's a little thicker material. Going to need a compass. This is a compass that is used to inscribe circles. Halfway across a circle is called the radius, and I'll show you how to set the radius for that. So get my tools out of the way, and now I need my ruler again. I'm going to draw. I want to use this card and have my viewing window right in the middle of the card. So one way to do that, to find out the middle of this 3x5 card, is I'm going to use my mechanical pencil. You can use any sharp pencil, and draw a diagonal line from one corner to the edge of the 3x4 rectangle. Then I'm going to draw another one, another diagonal line from the line that I marked at 4 inches on the card and the very upper corner. Now, this is my destination. I'm getting very close to being able to cut a viewing window. You don't want the window to be too large, or you see too much of the composition in it. It isn't useful if a viewing window is too large. That's why I keep the card small, and the viewing window that we're going to get is going to be about a 1/2 inch by a little bit more when we set our compass. So because we're working proportionally, which is a matter of geometry, not measuring, this is the only part that we actually measure, and that is 1 inch up from the bottom of a 3x5 card, and what the opening is. Now I set the tool at a 1/2 inch. That's the radius, and I can take any 1/2 inch square. I can go from 0 over here to 1/2 inch, but I want to make sure that the lead of my compass and the point of the center point, steel point of the compass is 1/2 inch. It could be a little bit more or a little bit less. It doesn't matter. So right after I've set my compass and I'm sure that it's not going to roll around, I'm going to put the steel point of the compass right where the center of the X is, right in that center. And because it's easier for me to rotate the card than it is to rotate the compass, I'm going to rotate this 3x5 card converted to a 3x4 rectangle with 2 diagonal lines right across here. Now, when I tipped my compass a little bit, it made the line move a little bit, the circles line, but that won't be significant here. The next thing I need to do is connect the point where the diagonal lines intersect the arc of the circle. And for that, I'm going to use a slightly smaller steel ruler. And I'm hoping not to get my head over my camera this time so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to just put that steel ruler there, and I'm going to take my pencil lead and draw a little line connecting where the arc of the circle intersects the 2 diagonal lines of my 3x4 measured card. And try to make sure that I've connected those lines right at the dots, right at those points where the arc of the circle intercepts the diagonal line. There's a little offset with my pencil. That is, it isn't right on the line. I'm making sure I move back a little bit, and then the width of the pencil lead can move across. Now I have drawn a viewing window that I know is exactly proportional to 9x12 paper and 18x24 paper, so that when I hold up this viewing card farther away from my eye, tightens the view or crops the view, and moving it closer and closer and closer to my eye makes more room or more visible negative space around the object that I'm viewing. So the next step is to find a nice surface to cut on, and I'm going to take my little steel ruler and use the other tool from the drawing kit or Art 4 kit. This edge, I want to make sure that the knurled edge is tightly fixed with the blade, and then I'm going to turn this in a way that I can cut it and not cut myself. Put the tip of the blade in, run it along the edge of the steel ruler. So you put pressure both downward and slight pressure towards the steel ruler. A steel blade will cut a wooden ruler or a plastic ruler or an aluminum ruler, but a steel blade on a mat knife will not cut a steel edge ruler. And that's why I asked you to get a steel edge ruler, is so that you can cut with a craft knife. So I'm cutting all 4 sections, represented by this viewing window, 2 sides and a top and a bottom. I'm cutting twice, just so I hope that I can pop out that little window, like a little sheet of glass. I also have a little cast shadow on, because there's one slightly lighter lights, a brighter light source in my little video filming space here. So I want to make sure that I'm really looking at the line and not the shadow. Now this is a precision movement or exercise here to get it right. It's much more important to get it right when you're scaling up than when you're scaling down. But here's the little X I cut out. That's the viewing window I have. And I know that this is exactly proportional, that whether I use it horizontally or vertically, everything I see in my viewing window will fit exactly on the 9x12 paper or the 18x24 paper. And we're using a 3x5 card because it already shares a proportional dimension that matches those larger sheets of paper. So that's it. Remember to put the cap on your tool and use this for, we'll be using it other times during the semester. Another kind of viewfinder that you make is done with scaling up, and that is the 14x17 viewfinder card, and we scaled up by putting it on a sheet of 14x17 Bristol board. So now I've got 2 different cards here for me. And if you get the chance, please try to make a viewfinder using the instructions. This is called an adjustable viewfinder. You can see these are fixed windows, but this viewfinder, I can make a lot of different kinds of shapes. I can make a square easily with this viewfinder, just by putting all 4 edges together, and I will automatically have a 4-inch square cut from a piece of 6-inch viewfinder material. So this is really useful to have. Other kinds of viewfinders that people purchase. This one is for watercolor artists. It's got a screen with a magnetic edge along it. And for the people who like to work outdoors, there is a tinted screen so that it cuts out color. And you can use these little magnetic strips to as helping you find the recession into space that would happen with viewing a landscape in perspective. It's quite a nifty little tool that artists find handy to keep in their toolkit. But for us, learning how to use a proportional viewfinder, how to make your own tools, and is something that you can take with you in the future. All right, bye-bye.